Hi everyone, I'm Sabrina Baker. I'm a special education teacher, a board certified behavior analyst, and a mom of two. And today I am sharing this video with you to talk about some proactive behavior strategies to work on while we're at home right now. I have been collaborating with Autism Cares, and we decided that this might be some helpful resources for parents right now at home. A few weeks ago, I presented on making learning fun through games and cooking, and I think this one will be a little bit more useful right now with dealing with behaviors while we're at home, since everything is very, things are very uncertain right now. Now, I know that people seem that as though we have a lot of time at home because we're home. And we're staying inside, but really, if you're a parent with little ones, parents at all, and you're working full time, it's really hard. So I appreciate you here watching this. I am going to do my best to get all the information out to you as fast as possible and to give you some great resources to make your days go even smoother. Now, on a typical day, your child, if they were going to school, on a typical day, they're surrounded by an entire team. So they might have, they have their teachers there, they have their TAs there, they have teachers' assistants, they have counselors, psychologists, specialist teachers, they have general ed teachers, they have behaviorists there, they have PTs, OT, speech, they have a huge team surrounding them. Now, although we are home and the team is still supporting in some capacity, it's different. And one of the major pieces that I think that parents are missing right now are the positive behavior supports at home. Positive behavior supports are great tools to help maintain appropriate behavior as well as behaviors before they become a bigger concern. So I think what I did for this presentation is I picked the top 5 supports and strategies that I felt would be the most useful at home right now. And included with this video, or Autism Cares, I believe, is going to be sending out a PDF that I made. And in that PDF, we'll have basically a summary of this presentation, as well as you can download some resources to print for you to use, or there are digital links that you can use while at home. Now, I will run through all of those through this whole presentation, and I will show you how to use those resources. So to get started, I think the best way to think right now is basically our mindset. Now, when you're at home, we need to try to change that mindset from being reactive to proactive. And all the top 5 strategies that I'm presenting today have a overarching theme, a common theme, and it's basically that, again, you want to be more proactive. So you want to change your mindset from being reactive to proactive. And with the 5 strategies that I'm talking about, basically all of them are proactive strategies to help you get in that mindset. Now, I know that being constantly proactive can be a daunting task. It's hard, but if you can shift your mindset to along those lines, that you are being more proactive, your days are going to be a lot more run more smoothly. So hopefully that the resources that we're going to talk about and the strategies will get you in that mindset of being proactive. You want to be able to be on top of behaviors before they happen. You really want behaviors to be as minimal as possible while you're at home, in order to be successful with, say, any learning that's happening, or just in general day-to-day activities. So these strategies that we're going to talk about are going to hopefully push you in that direction, because they are all basically proactive strategies to help you change that mindset. So the first strategy basically that I think is helpful is to set up your environment. So when you're setting up your environment at home, you want to designate an area where you're going to be doing all of your distance learning, or whatever you're doing at home right now with your child. So you want to be able to have a small table and chairs, or a designated room where you're having everything, all their activities are set up, and your child knows when they walk into that room or they sit at the table that distance learning is going to be taking place. So utilizing a chair, make sure it's comfortable, and then you're establishing that this is where these certain activities are going to take place. You also want to make sure that, if you can, this would be really beneficial if possible, is to get all of your materials prepped and ready before the learning begins. So if your teacher has, say it's a worksheet that you need to work on, make sure the cutting's completed, or maybe the glue is out. You just don't want to be running around while you're supposed to be also teaching your child and setting them up, because you're going to lose your child's interest. Also, you want to make sure that while you're in the room or designated area that you want all the other reinforcers to be put away, or all the things that your child really, really likes, basically, to be put away and not readily available. You want to limit those distractions, because sitting at a table and doing work is definitely probably not going to be high on their priority list, but that reinforcer that's right next to them is. So it's basically going to be a struggle for you to get them to be seated at the table or wherever they're doing their work if they know that their reinforcers are right there. So you want to make sure that you're limiting the environment to little distractions as possible. So setting up the environment, basically, you want to have is a proactive strategy. You want to be able to designate an area, limit distractions, have materials prepped and ready. Okay, the next thing is, which I'm sure many of you have heard, and a lot of teachers I'm sure are telling you, is to set up a schedule. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be, every single day, routines and schedules, and make it very, very strict, because right now things can't be strict because it's so uncertain. So flexibility is also going to be a great component to completing, starting a schedule at home. So what you want to do is create a schedule with your family. It helps you with new routines, and it helps your day go smoothly, especially for parents that are working right now. You want to make sure that you include things where that are for you as well. If you know that you need a conference call, you're taking a conference call, then you need to, on the schedule, have something for your child that they know that they can do independently, or that that they're going to be able to do for a certain amount of time while you can run and do what you need to be doing. Schedules help with transitions, changes. It keeps the day flowing. Also, while I've started a schedule at home for myself, I need one desperately. I need to have, something that I'm looking forward to. I know what's coming next. I need to know when I need to stop something, just because it has been so uncertain and our days have been so different, that I needed to create a new normal in our house. But I've noticed that after a certain amount of time of distance learning or any activity, my daughter needed a brain break. So we started doing a lot more brain breaks. We've done a lot of exercise. And also in the afternoon, we've been starting to put in some quiet time where we're all just kind of trying to shut down a little bit. And I think it's been really helpful for our brains. Staying consistent is really key. Now, in your packets in the PDF, I'm going to show you some of the schedules that I put together for you guys, and hopefully this could be really beneficial for you guys in starting up a schedule and some routines. So when you open the PDF, it should look, hopefully you can see this. Yes, so this is the PDF, and it's a letter from me, just basically stating kind of a lot of the things that I just said. And then on the bottom, or I guess included in the PDF, you're going to have paper schedules that are paper, so you can print them. And here, basically, I understand that, you don't want to print a schedule every single day. It's a lot of ink, and you don't have fancy laminators and Velcro and everything at home, and neither do I at the moment. And I have been using page protectors. So actually, you can use dry erase markers on here. So this is exactly what you see on the screen. I printed it out, and then the schedule pieces are below. So you can print all those. I tried to add as many options as I thought. I've been using it with my daughter a lot, so hopefully with running through a pretty basic schedule, and I think I got as many options as possible. Now, what I would do is basically I would probably cut all these pieces out, which I have been doing, and you can either glue them in every day. You can tape them on here and then use the dry erase marker when you want to say finished. However you want to use it, you can. You can also, if your child knows how to read, you could just use the dry erase marker and write it in to these spaces. But what I included in here, which I thought might be another option for those who are, a little bit more, who don't want to have the paper and pencil and pieces all over, which again is totally fine. I've done it. This is what I use a paper schedule at school, but I decided to change it up a little bit and I chose to create an interactive schedule. So when you go up top to the PDF, on the bottom of the first letter, it says press links, and it's a blue hyperlink, and it says interactive schedule. So I'm going to click interactive schedules, and it's going to bring you to this page and says copy document. So what this means is you're going to press make a copy, and then it's going to make a copy of the interactive schedule that I created, and it's going to put it in your Google Drive. So then you can manipulate it the way that you want to manipulate it. So it's your copy now. Now, when you open up your, when you open that up, you are going to see, I'm going to show you, hopefully it's going to work. You should see an interactive, yep, this is how it should come up. So basically, it's going to look like this. It's an interactive schedule, and here all the pieces are all next to it. I actually just preloaded some schedule pieces, and you just drag and drop into the slide right here. So I have breakfast, brush teeth, get dressed, morning meeting, break, activity bins, game, exercise, and I've given you about 3 slides of this so that you don't have to actually redo all the pieces every time you need, say after lunch, you need more pieces. You can literally go through the entire day on these 3 slides, set them up in the morning. That's what I usually do. And then when you're ready, you press the button up here. It says present, and you're going to press present. And what you're going to see is when you press present, it's your daily schedule. And as you go through your day, you can click, and it's a check mark will come up, and it will tell you that you've completed that task. So after breakfast, I'm going to say, okay, we finished breakfast, we finished brushing our teeth, we got dressed, we did morning meeting, we did break, we had a break, we did activity bins, game time, and exercise. So that's how the activity schedule works. That's how the schedule is going to work using this interactive piece. So you have both options to either print it, or you can use it through Google Slides. Now, let me see if I'm going to go back and show you. I have some videos of my daughter doing it. Let me think here. Okay. Just so you can see the options of how you can use it. We have, okay, so we have, I put it on an iPad, and my daughter could do it herself. So here's her doing it herself. Or I actually have been, since this whole at-home learning has been taking place, I actually have been putting my computer up using an HDMI cord to my TV. And I have been able to basically put a lot of, any Zoom meeting that needs to take place, where I've been putting her schedule up on the TV, and it makes it bigger for her. Okay, so those are 2 options that you can do with the Google Slides schedule. Okay, the next strategy I think that is really important is reinforcement. So basically, I'm not sure if you've heard the saying or not, but behavior goes where reinforcement flows. So you want to praise your children at home and identify and recognize the things that they're doing well, versus reprimanding the negative behaviors. Because in the future, your child's more likely to perform the behaviors that you were praising them for. And that's just basically, this is a proactive strategy. You want to be able to reinforce all the positive things that your child's doing, because they'll be excited that you are happy for them. And keep in mind, reinforcement is not bribery, because when you set up a good system at your home, or even if it's at school or wherever it be, reinforcement is something that needs to be established before the task takes place, and therefore it's not bribery, because it's set it's already set. It's something that you have communicated with your child, that if you complete this task or you do something, then you're going to get this. So it's not bribery because it's something that you guys both have discussed. Um, and basically, when you're reinforcing, you know what your child really likes, and you're just meeting their needs and getting that excitement for them after they do something that they may not actually 100% want to be doing. So I think that I've started using it at home, definitely for a lot of the work things that I've been doing with my daughter, is a token system. And you can use it, you don't have to use it. I mean, you could just honestly give your child reinforcement whenever you want, but I think the visual of a token system is really beneficial and could be very helpful at this time. So again, in the PDF that I send to everybody, or that Autism Cares is going to be sending to you, I have different token systems. Basically, I get, again, you can, there's a printable one. I put it in a page protector, same thing. You can use a dry erase marker. I have different types of tokens that you can use. And another way that I actually was playing around with is that I put a smaller version that I created into a page protector, and I put it actually inside of just a shoebox. And inside are all the things that my daughter wanted to work for. And so after I used a dry erase marker and starred every time she, after the 5, you open the box and she got whatever she wanted inside of the shoebox. So you could do this as well. Or I'm going to show you the electronic version, the Google Slides version that I created, so you guys can see. And it's the same, you want to go and do the same thing as we did before. So let me see if I can bring that up again. Okay, so you're going to go back to the PDF, and on the bottom of the PDF, you're going to see interactive token board. It says press links, and you're going to press the link for an interactive token board. And that's going to take you again to it's going to prompt you to make a copy. You're going to make a copy of this, and it's going to go right into your Google Drive. So therefore, you can manipulate it, and I'm not going to see any changes that you make on my end. Then what you're going to see when that comes up is you should be able, I'm going to try to bring it up. Okay. You're going to come up, this is what's going to show up in your Google Drive. I created a reinforcement choice board as well as the I'm working board. I decided to put the reinforcement choice board because I think it's a really great visual for before you're starting any sort of task to show your child, hey, what do you want to work for? And I actually just added these X's the other day because when I presented this with my child, I said, what are we working for today? And I realized it was pouring outside. And okay, so bike's not going to work, swing's not going to work, and walk's not going to work. And that was a little bit challenging for her to understand because that's what things that she really wanted to do. Although she does understand it's raining, we have been having a lot of fun outside. So she thinks that we could just go outside whenever we want. But anyway, regardless, I said to her, it's not an option today. So I put a red X over top of the options that were not available, so that she clearly saw that those were not options, and she actually couldn't really see them, which was good. So then, therefore, she's forced to pick any of the other options. Now, say, for example, she says snacks. Okay, so I'm going to say, great, that's great. You're going to work for snacks. I'm going to click the next page. And I'm going to find all these little pictures, or the ones were on the first page, all these different reinforcers around the screen. I'm going to find snacks. So here's snacks. I'm going to drag it into the box. And same thing with the schedule. You're going to go up to the right-hand corner. You're going to press present. And when you get there, it's going to say, I'm working for snacks. And so when you're going through your day or your activity, you can click now and stars come up. Once you have all 5 stars, how many stars did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What were you working for? Snacks. Great. So that is your Google Slides interactive token system. Now, I'm going to see. Okay, so here I have just a quick video of Madison running through her working after she did some activity bins, how it worked for her to be able to manipulate the token board herself. So she is able to just tap it, star comes up, you can do it, they can do it. It was more motivating for her to do it, so I thought I would let her go ahead and do it. Again, reinforcement, right? You really want to make something worth it for them at home. Okay, the next strategy, proactive strategy that I feel is really important is basically the first then language. Language is key sometimes, and it could really make or break a day in the way that you're approaching something. Again, you're thinking of that mindset shifting from the reactive to the proactive. So if you're using the words first then when presenting something with your child, that may be something that's challenging, basically you're using, they call it grandma's law, and you're saying you're eating all of your dinner before you get your cookie. So first you do something that I need you to do, and then you get what you want to do. But remember that it's really important for you to follow through, especially if this is the first few times that you're using this language, that the then needs to be presented. Because if you all of a sudden say, first eat your vegetables and then you get dessert, and then your child ate their vegetables, but then something came up and you didn't get them their cookie, they're never going to trust the first then strategy. You want to make sure that that then is presented, and that they realize that what you mean what you say, that first you're going to eat your vegetables and then you'll get that cookie. As soon as those vegetables are eaten, bam, there's your cookie. That's great. Then they start feeding in and understanding, oh, okay, it's totally worth it. I'm going to do what mom or dad wants me to do first, then I'm going to get what I really want. Also, which is really important, is you want to try to limit instructions and try to be short and brief as possible. I've noticed at home sometimes I start giving directions, and next thing you know, my daughter's lost and off doing something else because I just used too many words. So sometimes, for example, I used to say when we were getting back home from school, I would say, okay, hang your jacket up, go put your shoes down, wash your hands, go do this. And then next thing you know, my daughter did maybe 2 of those steps, and the whole task was breaking down. So what I started to do is basically all I would say is shoes, jacket, hands, shoes, jacket, hands. And now my daughter comes in and you can hear her singing shoes, jacket, hands. So now she puts her shoes down, hangs her jacket up, and gets her hands. Washes her hands. So try to limit the instruction and the language you're using to just short and brief, and hopefully, and that will help have your child be a little bit more successful too. And with all the words that are coming at them, they're only going to filter so much, and so you want them to be successful. So if they have short, concise words, they're more likely to be able to be successful with those. Now, with the first then, I also included first then in the PDF. Same thing. Here's page protector. I love these things. Here's my first then board, and you can write it in, or of course I have visuals to go with it, and you will be able to, here we are. So I have first choices. You can cut those out. I've also I printed out just basically blank boxes so that you can put whatever you feel is best, because I don't know everything that's going on in everyone's houses. Here's some more first choices. And then I included the then visuals, as well as blank boxes, because then you guys can put in whatever your daughter or your child, your son or daughter would like to have to be in the then box. So those are my first then resources to give to everybody as well. So you can obviously using language, sorry to go back to that quickly, is that using the language first then is really important, but also pairing it with a visual is great. And that actually leads me into my next proactive strategy at home. So this is my 5th one, it's visual supports. And I really think pretty much it's my last one, because pretty much in every single one that I have presented, all the 4 before this, we all used visuals, and visuals are so important. And honestly, what I did was when I created all these resources, I used the same pictures in all of the activities, because then what's happening is there's this connection that's being made. So if, say, you have on the schedule morning meeting, and then all of a sudden you need to do morning meeting, so proactively you're going to set up, first morning meeting, then you're going to get whatever you're going to get, and then whatever's in the then box, say it's snack, we pick snack, maybe the snack goes on that token board as well. So now you have the 3 of the same pictures: morning meeting, then snack, and then you have the token board set up with the morning meeting, 5 tokens after sitting during morning meeting, then you're getting reinforcement. So your child's starting to connect what morning meeting means, what are the expectations during this time, and they're seeing this as a visual to help support them. Now, if you notice also, my schedule had words and visuals on it purposely because my daughter doesn't know how to read yet, but she was able to know, she can go through that entire schedule and know all the things that we've done because those visual supports have helped her, and she feels so much more successful. And I can see her feeling more confident throughout the day, knowing that she knows what's happening, what's coming next. My husband and I have decided to not do schedules over the weekend though, and try to really not make every single day blend together. I kind of feel like it's been Groundhog's Day a little bit. So what we decided is that Saturday and Sunday, we're not going to do schedules because we're going to try to, because Monday through Friday, usually during the week, if it was, a typical situation, typical day, we wouldn't be having basically very strict schedules because it's the weekends and things are always different on the weekends for us on a normal, any other day. But I will say my daughter's been waking up on Saturday saying, where's my schedule? Like it's almost like she craves it. So, and these visual supports have been really helpful for her. So basically visuals are on the schedule, they're on the first end, they're on the token board to help your child feel more secure in what's going on. It helps them understand, comprehend what's happening next, what's ending, what are they working for, which is really exciting because that reinforcement, you really need that buy-in. You want that, things to be worth it for them. The other thing is help your child model through things. If you find that you're doing some work at home that they don't understand, try modeling it for them, prompting them through it, fading your prompts, getting them a little bit more independent, but using visual supports are helpful when you're doing things like that, where you're going to be prompting them through something. But basically, visual supports are super helpful, a really great proactive strategy. Actually, I also forgot to mention is that on the reinforcement choice board, when you're doing the reinforcement, I gave the visuals for them to choose what they want. Sometimes it's helpful for them to have a little bit of boundaries of what they can work for. And again, you guys know your child's better than anyone, so you should know really, what they really want, and that you are going to give it to them once they do what they need to do, and that you become going back, circling around, you're setting up that environment. You want it to be positive. You want them to want to learn. You want them to be excited about it because they know that reinforcement's really high. So those are my top 5 strategies and supports that I felt would be really helpful for everybody. I'm sure I could go on with a lot of other things, but I felt like those are really concrete and things that are doable right now while we're home. I hope that the resources and printables, as well as the links to the Google Slides, will be super helpful to help everyone's days go a little bit smoothly. I know that Autism Cares is going to, I believe, post this video as well as send out the PDF. Autism Cares has been putting out some great information. If you need to, I believe that they're putting out maybe weekly or monthly activities for parents. So check them out because they're great. I thank them for allowing me to come on and give some help and support to parents, because that's what, we all are in this together, and I just want to be as helpful as possible. If you feel that you need some help with anything, or you have some questions or whatever you need, you want to reach out, my email address is below, slbaker0505@gmail.com. You could also check me out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I've also have Teachers Pay Teachers account there's other resources that I've been putting out. It's under Shaping the Spectrum. So if you guys want some more ideas for learning or behavior, you can meet me, you can reach me at those places. And feel free to reach out. And I hope that this was beneficial for you guys. And I hope everyone stays safe and you're all doing well. Thanks so much. Have a good one.